Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I am filming a layout share, which I don't usually do, but I was lucky enough to go to the Secret Not Secret Kit Club retreat in Big Bear just a couple of weeks ago, and I got, I think I've got 26 or 28 layouts here that I completed, so I wanted to go ahead and share those. This is the first one, and this is based off the Thursday night sketch over on the Redefined Creative Facebook group, and that was the first challenge, was to use that sketch. So this was my sister-in-law and her 50th birthday. We just had a small celebration, and she went on an amazing cruise to through the Panama Canal and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we just had a small family celebration for her rather than a big party because she really wanted to travel. So that's that one. This one was a class that Christina did, and we fussy cut these pieces out here and tucked them in, and we used some awesome chalk ink to go around these spots in the background to kind of make everything pop. So that was a fun one, and this is just a photo that I added after the fact. I didn't have the photos that I wanted for this one with me, but this is at our family camp when my son was in Cub Scouts, and I'm going to say that was in 2006. So it's an old photo, but I have a bunch of photos from that camp out to document, so I wanted to get it started. This is me and my grandson. This layout was, we had to use some tags, and then we had some buttons with epoxy in them, and one thing I didn't know, you can pop that epoxy out of those little wooden buttons and use them. So that's what we did. These were hidden in a sand pit. We had to go find a baggie with our embellishments in them and use some of each embellishment. And then I had this bag that was left over from something that one of the other gals had brought and left goodies on our table, and so I used that bag and thought it matched perfect, and then I hid my journaling. And that's just a picture of me and my grandson on an outing to the park. So this was a fun challenge. We were challenged to use stuff off of the giveaway table, and I went and pulled a whole bunch of stuff. I started a different layout, didn't like how it was coming together, and then these were some 4x6 cards, and so I cut those down, grabbed the watercolor off of the giveaway table as well. Somebody else had used it as well, and so I borrowed it from them. This ribbon was on the giveaway table. Actually, everything on this layout, aside from the photo and the stitching, which I added when I got home, and it's hard to see the stitching because it is black and it kind of blends in, but it's holding all of these cards together a lot better, and everything is pieced together on this paper that was also on the giveaway table. So I thought that was a fun challenge, and worked out well. This was a mystery bag challenge, and in the bag we had this paper bag, tissue paper, felt, a napkin, stars, labels, a tag, actually 3 of these little tags. We had this little pink paper, this paper with the camera on it, this Monday or weekly paper, the spoon, there's tulle and it's hidden, it's kind of here. We had this black felt and paper clips. So really the only thing that I added were the felt Mickey heads and this tag here, and there's going to be hidden journaling there. So those are the only things that I really added. Everything else was from that bag. Oh, and the letters I added as well, and I thought, you know, a Dole Whip is a perfect thing to go with this spoon, so that's why I went ahead and used that, and this paper is just stuck on there to tell me what I actually used. So it was a fun challenge. I really enjoyed it, and I love the way that this layout came out. Super fun. This was another challenge layout, and if I could remember what it was for, it was a grab 5, and we were put into teams, and each team chose an item. My team chose a cut file, and I happened to have a couple of cut files backed already before the trip because that was something that I could do when I am, you know, either in front of the TV or whatever. So I packed a couple of those to go with some of the photos that I was planning to scrapbook. So we had to use a cut file, punches, mixed media, something shiny, and then I cannot remember what the 5th item was. So yeah, it may have been sequins, but I'm not really 100% on that. And this is a picture of my daughter and my grandson the first time at our local little zoo and theme park. So that was fun. We had a challenge to scrap lift somebody else, and we went around and looked at all of their layouts in their piles that they had completed. This was one that Sandy had done, and I really loved the fringe look, and I did not have fringe scissors. but everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of the people at the retreat had fringe scissors, so I borrowed a pair of fringe scissors and created this layout based on Sandy's layout. And of course, you know, when I got home, what did I have to order? My own fringe scissors. So I liked the way it came out, and it was a lot of fun to try something different. This was, I don't think this had a challenge assigned with it, but another layout using a cut file. And this is just archery photos that my family actually ran a countywide archery project for 4-H, and so here we're helping other people. This is my son, he's helping this other little boy to shoot, and I believe that is our archery coach. Anyway, let's see, I don't think this was related to a challenge either, but I could be wrong on that. But these are just photos of my daughter and her little guy at the aquarium, and they caught this photo where he's staring at the shark, so I had to go with a whole bunch of shark paper. And typically, if you watch my channel, you know I use Shamel stuff for his baby book, but I had to pull in some photo play because the paper was just too cute for these aquarium photos. Another one with my grandson and his daddy at the aquarium, and this one was not assigned with a challenge or related to a challenge. And more aquarium photos using more of that photo play, and it's called Fishtails in case you're interested in what the paper is. So more of the two of them together hanging out at the aquarium. And I think these last two do not have challenges, but more aquarium photos. And I just love the way he's really interested in looking at all the things and how they're moving. And there aren't a lot of photos with my daughter and him where she's not taking a selfie, so I try to pull in as many of those as I can because she's with him all day long and she doesn't get a lot of those kind of photos because a lot of times there's no one around to take those of them. So, and then this one, I wasn't even sure I was going to scrapbook this photo, but I love this. You light up my world, and it's perfect. They're looking at penguins, so that's, I mean, this fish doesn't match the penguins, but they are at the aquarium, and I wanted to use that, and I just thought it was cute. So there you have it. This was a challenge, and I think it was it's called the LoveHate challenge, and we each wrote down something we loved using and something we hated using, and then they got put into a bowl, and we each drew from each of the bowls of the love and the hate items, and then we had to use either both of the items or neither of the items on a layout. And I know I had chipboard, and the tag said either epoxy or acrylic, so I went with epoxy. And then I don't have journaling on these aquarium ones because my daughter does the journaling for my grandson's book, unless I happen to be at the event, or if she's already relayed a story that she wants told. So these ones are left blank intentionally because she does go back and write on them. This was a stamping challenge, and it was called Stamp Your Heart Out, and we had to stamp around an image to make a negative space. And in this pool they're playing with duckies, so I had JoJo cut out a ducky off of her silhouette, which was wonderful. Thank you so much, JoJo. And then I went around and stamped on it. This is my grandson and my niece's little girl. They're 7 weeks apart, and they get together quite often, so I just thought this was a cute photo, and I did the journaling on this because I happened to be there that day. So this was a challenge where we had to take a sketch out of, it was a page maps page that we had, and then we had to rotate the sketch one turn. So if it, this original sketch was probably like this, and then we rotated it. So I did these Day of the Dead photos, and this was at a Day of the Dead festival that my friend and my husband and I went to, and I had 4 pages of it. So there are 4 layouts, and I used the same sketches just to keep continuity across the board. And there is journaling on it. The first 2 pages, there wasn't a whole lot more to say, so that kind of captured it all in the first 2 pages. These are photos of my son at one of his early Cub Scout events. So this was in 2006. They created stuff out of recyclables, and he made this like rocket launch pad, and so I thought these cute wood veneer would work out really well. And honestly, I don't know that that was for a challenge either, but anyway, it was so fun. This is a photo of a bunch of the of ladies that I know online that we got together for a crop. We have done 2 crops already, and we are getting ready to do another crop next weekend. And so this was the first crop we did together, and I wanted to document that we did that. And I think this is Bella Boulevard paper, and I don't use corrugated paper very often. So I wanted to make sure I used it because this gray really matched all the scissors, and I thought it was fun. And so then I just kind of tore the center open and pulled these back. I used a really thin paintbrush and, you know, folded it all back, curled it up. So it's kind of thick, but I don't mind it. I like it how it looks, and I thought it was kind of a fun effect. And I really liked the back side of this paper. It has this gray triangles, so that's why I did that. This was a challenge where we had to look through a magazine. It was Creative Scrapbooker magazine, and find something to scrap lift. So this is just my son and my nephew when they were young. So the 2007, again, I'm working through 2007 and almost done with 2006, and I kind of don't really work in order. I go back and forth between current, and then I have like 2006 printed. When I get that done, then I, you know, print 2007 and part of 2008, and as I use stuff, I keep printing chronologically, but I don't use them chronologically. So, and I've been dying to use these letters for the longest time. They've been in my stash for a long time. So it's just called Happy Do because they had new hairdos, and I just documented that they got new haircuts on this day, and they had just come back from getting their haircuts, and I thought that was a fun photo. More archery photos, and this is just a family archery day that we did, and I know this was one of our early archery days because the bows we are using were the original bows that we bought. Well, this bow we bought my son, and my daughter didn't have her own bow. We borrowed this one, and so we're just doing some target practice and enjoying the day out at the archery range. I don't think that was a challenge either, but let's see. No. Okay, this is just documenting my dear friend Lisa. She's a super amazing, talented watercolorist, and she had an art show, and we went to her art show, and then she painted this beautiful picture of these flamingos. And I'm not even like into flamingos or anything, but I was like, oh my gosh, that is like amazing. And I toyed with the idea of buying it, but my other friend bought it from her, so it's going to a good home. And yeah, so had to document that. It was a lot of fun. This one was a challenge. We had to use something that we hadn't touched yet. This was like the last day, so we had to use something that we hadn't touched yet that we brought and had intended to use. And so I had kitted up some stuff ahead of time, and this was one of the kits. So this mixed media paper I did ages ago. I don't even know how long ago. So, and then we had to borrow something from someone else. And one of my table mates, Sharon, had this really cool, super large washi. The roll's like this wide. I think it might be from Altenew, but don't quote me on that. And she had done something similar on her layout where she cut out these big geometric shapes. And I liked it so much, I was like, oh my gosh, can I borrow a little bit of your roll there and put it on my page, because it matched perfectly. Like the colors in that match perfectly with the colors here. So, and then this is just my son, and we are at the top of one of the local mountains here that has an observatory, and he's just soaking in the sun and enjoying the day. So this is my attempt at documenting my joy of audiobooks. I haven't done a lot of reading in a long time, and recently I found an app called Libby, and you put in your library card number and you can check out audiobooks without having to like buy them like through Audible or something like that. And so I've just been totally feasting on all of these audiobooks and just listening to them one right after another. So I printed out some of the covers of the books that I've read in the last few months, or listened to, and then I documented that this way. And yeah, so, and this paper is Dear Lizzie New Day, and I bought like 25 sheets of that through Tuesday morning, and I've used a ton of it already. I don't even know if I'll use the whole pack or what, but I really like it. And I don't like the other side. It's cacti. I mean, I don't mind cacti, but we don't have a lot of cacti in my area, so I probably won't use a ton of it, and it's a little bit cartoony for me. Anyway, This is a lighthouse that is near our house, probably about 30 minutes away, and we stopped here one afternoon just kind of checking out the grounds and looking at it, and we were actually on our way home from a tide pool visit that we had done. So I've got my journaling done and everything. And then lastly, this layout is of my dad's 80th birthday. Last year we surprised him with an 80th birthday party, and he had no idea. He thought we were setting up for my daughter's baby shower, and he was just coming over to my brother's house to grab lunch with everyone who was setting up for the baby shower. Little did he know it was a surprise party for his 80th birthday. And in fact, we were setting up for the baby shower because the baby shower was the next day. So we did back-to-back parties, and so that's what I documented on this one. And a lot of times people fold their papers back to have these little kind of things peeking out. I folded it under because the backside of this heart paper is super busy. Like, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got stripes and zigzags and hearts and plus signs, and it's super busy, and I didn't want it showing. I wanted to stick with the red and the green. My dad's favorite color is green, and he's wearing a red shirt, and there's lots of greenery, so I thought that was a good match. And then lots of journaling there. And then this was a layout that Sandy made for me. I was her secret sister, so if you go to a retreat, you would draw a name, or you get assigned a secret sister, and you buy them a gift or a lot of little things or whatever. And so I bought her a whole bunch of stuff, and she made me a layout. And then the girl that bought me a lot of gifts, I made her a layout. So I don't have a picture of that in front of me because it's actually on my phone, which is videoing right there. So you just get to see the one that Sandy made for me, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love all the little details of this little gold trim. She did a little mixed media. These are actually some of my favorite thickers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be back next week, hopefully with a process video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.